What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jeremy Wormy, and I'm coming at you with another video. And today we're continuing to talk about Madam Web, not in the aspect of Madam Web itself, but in a all new, different aspect of it. Because Madam Web was such a disaster on its first opening weekend, a 6-day opening weekend, mind you. Preview started Wednesday and went all the way into Sunday, so that means yes, you had your 6 full days of a weekend to try to get Madam Web some sort of money after being panned by both critics after being panned by both critics and audiences alike. The movie could only muster up about $23 million domestically in its first 6-day opening weekend. It was a monumental disaster. Even international box offices only have it coming in at a $26 million opening weekend, and I am rounding up there an extra $300,000 at that aspect. But that's only because you got to actually kind of point it out. It is sitting at a $50 million worldwide opening weekend all the way around. But at the same time, it is a massive bomb and a black eye for things such as the Sony Spider-Man universe and the Sony without a Spider-Man universe. I should be more clear in my whole discussion here. It actually is a movie that on its first opening weekend, it lost to the Marvels. Guys, this movie lost to the Marvels when you actually take a look at the all around opening weekend score with freaking Madam Web having a 6-day opening weekend and the Marvels having a standard for a 3.5-day opening weekend. I'm saying 3.5 because day. The same goes for even Morbius beating out freaking Madam Web with a opening weekend coming in at about $30 million opening, no, $40 million opening weekend versus this whole $25 million or $23 million domestically on its opening weekend. Well, because of this monumental disaster for Sony and every aspect of the Spider-Man universe without a Spider-Man, you got this going on. After Madam Web box office bomb, Silk Spider Society fires every writer and shifts focus to a male audience. That's right. For their new Silk Spider-Man movie TV show, I don't know what it's actually is, to be fair. The current rumor that is going around that they decided to fire the entire writing staff, essentially, and are switching up its gears to try to focus in on a more male audience, on a audience focused on trying to get that male going on there. You know, the thing that we weren't supposed to be doing for many, many years now because of toxic masculinity, but we come down here. Amazon has reportedly fired the entire writer's room for Silk Spider Society and nearly everyone else involved in the project after the showrunner, Angela Kang, and one executive producer just a day after the disastrous opening of Madam Web. That's right, they fired everybody but the showrunner and one producer. Now, I don't think that's actually going to save whatever this is. I think it's still going to go down the same route. That's usually when you have to have a whole show like this. Maybe you should clean up the entire room, maybe clean up every aspect of it, including your showrunner and every executive producer actually on these shows, and bring in a whole new team, whole new crew, whatever you have to do to make sure these shows actually run correctly. Just because you got rid of your writer's room doesn't mean that the showrunner isn't going to still try to lead it down the same path, and doesn't mean your executive producer isn't going to try to lead it down the same path. So there is that aspect to look at, but we continue on. Silk Spider Society is going to be the first show from Sony set within their Spider-Man universe without a Spider-Man, and was put on hold during the writer's strike last year. Originally, the writers for Silk were supposed to reconvene in January, but as of Friday, they've all been removed with the statement that the show is seeking to target a mostly male audience. The reason couldn't be clearer, and I couldn't agree more, actually. They were trying to actually target that male audience would bring more individuals probably to actually want to go see these things. Let's be very clear here. When it comes to Marvel, when it comes to Spider-Man, when it comes to comic books, heck, even like Star Wars, for example, those are male dominated spaces. That doesn't mean women aren't allowed in these spaces one little bit. That doesn't mean there aren't female fans of these projects or properties whatsoever. It is just more dominant within the male sphere. It is a more male dominant area. So when you're making these shows, targeting the more male aspect of the fan bases, targeting your more male audiences is the correct thing to do. One of the failures of the actual Madam Web movie is who was it being marketed towards? Who was it being marketed for? Because at one point it was kind of being marketed as a CW-esque drama, high school drama with a bunch of weird music, weird stuff going on, and people really were engaging with it. Then later on, they started using Dakota Johnson's whole sexuality and everything like that, because again, she was a 50 Shades of Grey star and whatnot. So she comes out here and does that very breathy discussion saying, "Hey, I'm gonna bet you guys are gonna come see the movie again," trying to target more male audiences, but it didn't work. The male audience is the person you kind of do want to be targeting in regards to these shows, movies, and whatnot, and it can be more clear. And I'll give Fandom Pulse the credit; they do bring up Reacher and Terminalist. Now, those are different areas of fan base altogether, but I would say Reacher is more targeted towards male characters. Same with Terminalist, are more targeted towards your male audiences. But when you have a show that actually works within the male audience sphere, you also have women coming to these shows. You also have women coming to see, hey, that Reacher guy, he's kind of attractive. Hey, look, the journalist guy. I haven't seen either of these shows, but I can tell you, journalist guy. Chris Pratt. Gosh, he's kind of attractive, and he's doing more masculine things. He's doing more masculine areas. When you have your superhero show based on Silk, which is a female character, but if you target it more towards the male audience, you're gonna have men go like, "Hey, she's kind of hot, kind of attractive. Let's go see what's going on there. Hey, that's actually kind of cool looking what she's doing here. Hey, let's go actually see what's going on there. She has feminine traits. She has feminine qualities. She's not a guy just going around pretending to be a woman, as we see with like the Marvels and aspects like that. Be a more feminine character that people will still be more gravitated towards that, even no matter if you're a guy or girl. You can just take a look at basically anything prior to 2016 to realize that guys are also interested in more attractive women that have feminine qualities to it. So that it's a no-brainer. Is this actually going to happen? Is this show actually going to be good? Chances are, nah. I'm sorry. If you still have your showrunner and one executive producer attached to this, I'm willing to bet that you just kind of, cleaned up the majority of the problem, but you still have two very powerful individuals there that are probably going to still steer it down its same inevitable garbage route. And on top of that, it's still a Spider-Man show without Spider-Man. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me get you guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it up, friends. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye for now.